Meek Mill is under fire on social media after a leaked video of him and Diddy at Meek's 27th birthday party went viral. Clip, originally shared by the Daily Mail, shows Diddy and Meek Mill eating sushi off the body of a naked model. Later in the video, they can be heard doing things that many viewers are calling questionable. Meek is now desperately trying to scrub this footage from the internet. Word is, he's even offered $100,000 to anyone who can figure out who leaked the video. Rumors have been circulating for a while that Meek Mill and Diddy may have been secretly involved romantically, especially since they were often seen wearing matching outfits. Now that Diddy is behind bars, these rumors are gaining more attention, and Meek is reportedly worried about his reputation and career.
He did not. It did not say Meek Mill name. Wait. Oh, hold up. Never mind. Wait, what the fuck? I forgot. Look, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper 5. That's redacted. Look, 5. He's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were playing around with that Michael Rubin shit, but if you've been tweeting about you've been tweeting about everything on planet Earth. If you don't get a Twitter rant saying you about to get Lil Rod killed, you about to shoot up his block, blow his mama's house up, this nigga is saying that you and Diddy were fornicating. What the fuck? Meek!
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Meek Mill's name was first linked to Diddy after Lil Rod mentioned him in his lawsuit. According to that lawsuit, Diddy was sexually involved with a Philadelphia rapper who had dated Nicki Minaj, performed at the Super Bowl, and had a successful residency in Las Vegas. All signs point to Meek Mill. To make things worse, people close to Diddy are coming forward and testifying that they witnessed inappropriate behavior between Diddy and Meek Mill firsthand.
But going back to the lawsuits, one of those plaintiffs that has sued Combs was Rodney Little Rod Jones, a music producer who apparently worked with Combs on his latest album called Love. Jones says he lived with Combs for a year and witnessed what he claimed was not only debauchery, but also illegal activity. In his lawsuit, Jones names some very well-known celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr., who he claims sexually assaulted him on a yacht that Combs had rented for a holiday cruise in 2022. Other celebrities' names are redacted from the suit. For example, the lawsuit reads, quote, rapper redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht consorting with underage girls, sex workers. Then in a footnote it says he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Now, based on that, online sleuths quickly deduced that suit was likely talking about Meek Mill. He dated Nicki Minaj for a couple of years between 2015 and 2017, and he was her opening act on a world tour. Once people decided that the lawsuit was referring to Meek Mill, these rumors started to circulate about his possible involvement or participation in Combs' activity.
One story that keeps popping up is how Diddy took Meek Mill on a shopping spree, and soon after, they were seen wearing coordinated outfits. 50 Cent even chimed in, saying that Diddy originally tried to take him shopping, but he refused, questioning why a grown man would take another man shopping. After being turned down by 50 Cent, Diddy allegedly took Meek Mill instead, and that's when their relationship supposedly began. Meek became a regular fixture at Diddy's lavish parties. But now, with Diddy facing 36 lawsuits, Meek is desperately trying to distance himself and avoid being dragged into the mess.
Can I just say?
Nah, but you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is really happening. I'm just saying. No, stop it. Look, you set that up. Look, you set that up. There's he's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
Obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like you go, I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say. Like, girls, guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what's going on.
Wow,
there.
they found Kendrick and Wifey.
What's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this month. It's real life.
Real life
Yeah,
shit,
nigga, no Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that shit, Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Meek Mill has taken to X, formerly known as Twitter, to respond to all the allegations linking him to Diddy. He claims that someone is pulling strings behind the scenes to bring him down. According to Meek, people just want to destroy successful black rappers. He even tweeted, "I want to hire an investigative team, $100,000 cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill's name in Diddy's case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media pushing anything about Meek and Diddy. Something's not right." Fans quickly responded to his post, with many saying, "Bro, it's your own behavior that's making the headlines. You were in a pool calling Diddy daddy. How do you expect people to look at that and not draw conclusions?"
Meek Mill himself has been vocal about his name being brought up alongside allegations of abuse, drug use, sex with underage girls. He has claimed online that his success in the industry, as well as his work to reform the criminal justice system, has made him a target. And Meek Mill is very active on X, formerly Twitter. He has voiced his thoughts about the lawsuit as well as the rumors. In September, he tweeted, quote, "From the streets of Philly to becoming a millionaire, to helping reform the system, to bridging a gap of billionaires, to interacting with the rap culture that results in success. It's a lot of people hating on me on the low. They don't play with guns, they do campaigns." And he also tweeted several times about the rumors surrounding his sexuality. For example, one tweet reads, "I have the right to say I ain't gay, and I'll trash anybody that play with my manhood, LOL." Then earlier this week, he put an offer on the table, a $100,000 reward for anyone who can figure out how he got named in Rodney Jones' lawsuit in the first place. He tweeted, "I want to hire an investigative team, $100K cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy." And then in quotes, "something not right." And then he followed that up minutes later with, "The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about business side, somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got $100K for a thorough investigation of what's powering and how exactly my name connect to this."
In the entertainment world, everyone knows there are no real friendships, and that's why Meek Mill isn't standing by Diddy now. According to DJ Academics, many thought Diddy's legal trouble would blow over quickly and never imagined it would get this serious. But as more evidence piles up, rappers who were once close to Diddy are doing everything they can to stay out of the spotlight and avoid the fallout.
Well, Meek Mill had a video recently. He was walking around someplace, and he said, "No Diddy."
No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard?
That shit, Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you saw that?
No, I seen it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't really know Diddy your way out of that photo when you got the matching outfit with Puffy. You can't know Diddy your way out of that. But I guess it's a little disappointing is that it seemed like Meek Mill was an actual friend.
There's no friends in the industry, Vlad.
But it seemed like they were actually had a relationship.
It's no friends in the industry, Vlad. There ain't no friends in the industry. I think a lot of people, you see all the silence we hearing now? I think Ray J kind of said, even though Ray J's kind of going a little cuckoo recently, love him. But here's there's a lot of people silent. And there's three reasons. One, they got some skeleton in their closet. They're like, let me not jump in because I don't want them to look at me. Two, some of them was at these parties and they may have freaked off a couple girls with Diddy.
Yeah.
And
Or
three,
guys.
Yeah, or guys, right? And the third version is literally them trying to figure out, like, I don't want to be against this guy if he beats it. So everybody's been watching it. So they're watching it and they'll be like, shit. We're like 23 lawsuits in. Yes.
More than that. That was over 120.
No,
I see what you're saying.
They haven't all filed it. They haven't all filed.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're a bunch of lawsuits in, right? And I think now people will realize, man, that friendship. It's time to save our own ass. That's the only part I like about with Meek Mill. Nobody ever accused Meek Mill of doing a crime. People accuse Meek Mill of being homosexual and doing some freak acts with Diddy. Let's be clear.
Even Joe Rogan has weighed in on the situation, discussing the controversy surrounding Meek Mill and his connection to Diddy.
Here we go, guys.
Here we
All
go.
Right. So, you know how, like, well,
you know, we yelled at Kurt about this yesterday. When he came in and he goes, P. Diddy definitely everybody and did this and raped everyone. And then we're like, well, how do you know? He's like, I read. Not really. It doesn't really mean anything. You're always reading somebody else's numbers.
So what is?
But that's what you can do in comedy. That is enough to checkmate most comedians.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I read, and you go, he does
wrong.
read. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's just a funny thing to say because you could also be like admitting the ridiculousness of it yourself while saying I read. You know, because it's kind of an admission. Like, I'm not there. I didn't go to the freak off.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
want to
know
hear
what the
somebody
fuck.
goes, I went to one of these parties and man, P. Diddy was like, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go fuck Meek Mill in the butt. But like, that's never going to happen. No one comes out and says
So
that.
if you're looking at that, what makes you conclude that he definitely was doing that?
Because he basically, the first time they ever met, he presented him with the Steele dossier, which had all of the like dirt.
That's the pee-pee stuff, right?
Yeah, all the pee-pee shit in it. Or I shouldn't say shit. There was no shit alleged, just piss.
Russian piss.
Yes, alleged Russian piss. Yes, that's the aspect Jay wants to make sure.
Is that what collusion means?
Something like that. And then
They play so dirty. They play dirty like a movie.
It's pretty crazy.
Comedian Andrew Schultz also spoke to Meek Mill about the situation and publicly expressed his support for Meek.
I don't think Meek is gay. I do not think Meek is gay. But he is incredibly bad at proving he's straight. He is maybe the worst in history at doing that.
In response, Meek Mill tweeted, "First time I laughed at people calling me gay. But don't play with me in real life. I might swing. LOLs."
Why you be going at Meek Mill on social media then?
I love Meek.
No, you don't. You always talk about you love somebody.
I love Meek.
And be butchering them on.
When did I butcher him?
Man,
I love Meek. Meek, I love you. I'm the only one on social media saying he's not gay.
But you did say you have a hard time proving that you're straight, though.
I said he did a bad job of
yes.
it, which he laughed at. He laughed at the joke. He's like, this is the first time I laughed at somebody saying I'm funny.
You just like, so not, as long as it's a name, you're going to go back and forth with him, huh?
Yeah, if it's somebody if somebody's using me for my name, I'm not going to go back and forth.
Right.
But if it's big enough that sure, I'll do it.
Right.
Also, if there's a, but Meek did nothing to me, by the way. Like, honestly, he's really innocent in all this. And I do support him. I do think that he gets an unfair shake. I think he gets like trolled a lot. And I think he's probably like a good guy.
Right.
So I always say leave Meek alone.
Right.
Even though I do make some jokes.
But not everyone is buying Meek's denials. Social media personality Big Homie CC has claimed that Meek Mill is struggling to prove his heterosexuality because, according to CC, he's actually gay. One point, Meek's Amazon account was linked to his Twitter, and a purchase of a sex toy allegedly appeared on his feed. Despite all of Meek's tweeting, he has yet to outright deny any of the allegations. Big Homie CC suggests that's because Meek knows that if he starts lying about Diddy, federal agents might play recordings they have of the two together.
Meek Mill had his Amazon account connected to his Twitter. The man on there buying dildos and it's getting posted to his Twitter account. I just purchased this 10-inch dildo. So like, I really don't want to talk about Meek Mill. You feel me? I just don't think Meek Mill is a bright guy, period. Like, I just feel like Meek Mill is the dude who will end up someplace trying to be with the who's who and be like, wait a second. I don't know what's going on. He one of them type of guys, bro.
I don't want to say his name. I'm still on the contract with him. Let me be careful here. Let me be careful here, man. Let me be careful, because That stuff about Diddy real, bro.
Well, what do you think about the Meek Mill accusations?
Okay. Now, you know, I used to bodyguard Rocky Fresh, who was signed to Rose.
Yep.
All right. Now, Meek said he wouldn't do a song with Rocky because Rocky wasn't street. Right. So, little things that take place and people will expect certain things out of him. But now with some of this stuff's coming out, if you look at his body of work, it's been strange things in his history. So then, you know, you go on his Twitter page, you click on his likes, bro. You see things that he's liking. That's questionable. Would you come up in here with a matching shirt with me?
Hell no.
Hell no. Ace, would you pop out with a matching shirt with me, bro? Styles, put that on something, you gonna pop out with, no, boy, it's not going like that, bro. Would you let me call you daddy?
Hell no.
No, bro. I've been saying this for years. I say, man, these boys strange, bro. The things they into is strange. I've seen so much. I've seen a lot, bro. So like with him, look how he responded to the situation. Not one time did he come out and say these things are a lie. Did you see that?
Yep.
He didn't say that.
He didn't deny it.
No, he didn't deny nothing. Because if he deny it, what's finna come out? Footage.
So you think Diddy has footage on Meek?
For sure. He got cameras through his whole crib.
Prosecutors have already confirmed that tapes seized during the FBI raid on Diddy's home will be played during the trial. No arguments from Diddy or Meek Mill will matter once those tapes are made public. 8 of these recordings have already been handed over to the FBI, and there are reports that hundreds more are being sold on the dark web.
The trial starts and the jury sits. Will they be shown these tapes?
100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Like during
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be porn played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this.
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, like, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward because she hasn't withdrawn.
But don't forget this. It doesn't matter if she does or she doesn't. This isn't a civil case, this is the criminal case. So she could flat out tell the federal government, I don't want to participate, and they can say, we don't care. This is a crime. Crimes are against the United States, not against them. Keep calling her victim one, but don't forget, she's a witness to a crime. So it doesn't matter if she went to them in today and said, I'm not participating. Their response, we don't care, get you on the stand.
Sources close to Diddy say that rappers in Philadelphia have known about Diddy and Meek's alleged relationship for years. Music blogger Gang Deal has said that his friends in Philly, who used to work with Meek Mill, were well aware of Meek's true orientation but kept quiet. They see through Meek's current denials, and many believe it's only a matter of time before Diddy exposes him.
Meek Mills. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood this Hollywood whereas that he's dressing like, he dressing the same he dressing like Diddy? Hugged up with Diddy? I think that Lil Rod know a lot of but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down.
Meek Mill isn't the only celebrity being pulled into this mess. Will Smith, Rick Ross, Usher, and DJ Khaled are also facing scrutiny after footage of them at Diddy's infamous New Year's Eve party surfaced. Will Smith has already denied any involvement during a concert in San Diego, but the others are staying quiet. Meanwhile, Diddy's former alleged sex slave Jonathan has spoken out, claiming that both Rick Ross and DJ Khaled were involved in questionable activities with Diddy.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just did. Y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff, cause it's like people, it's so many things, people say so much stuff, but you know, that one, your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay. Who? Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay.
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay?
Right.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Oh, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Diddy's so-called friends have abandoned him, and now it looks like his legal team is doing the same. Anthony Rico, Diddy's attorney, has filed paperwork with Judge Arun Subramanian, saying that he can no longer represent Sean Combs under any circumstances. Even the law firm that has worked with Diddy for over 30 years has dropped him as a client.
He's doing fine. It's a difficult circumstance. He's making the best of the situation.
A situation one of Diddy's attorneys won't be part of moving forward. Anthony Rico announcing in court docs, under no circumstances can he continue defending the embattled rapper.
This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
In a motion filed on Thursday, Rico stopped short of revealing why he's stepping down from Diddy's legal team, just months ahead of the music mogul's scheduled trial date in May for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, all of which Diddy's denied.
You know, Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. So sometimes the more you push a person down, the stronger they get.
That's Rico speaking up late last year for his now former client. ET's learned the attorney's exit will not affect Diddy's other attorneys, nor their defense strategy.
I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective.
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me.
After Diddy was arrested, Rico said he provided a high level of legal representation, but now, for reasons unknown, he can under no circumstances effectively serve in the upcoming trial.
Nobody's okay with staying in jail for now.
And high-profile death penalty attorney Anthony Rico. Now, while the pair joined around the same time, Anthony in a court filing on Friday said he's leaving the case. In the filing, Anthony Rico said, quote, "For the reasons set forth below, this motion for withdrawals is filed so that Sean Combs may move forward with his defense and to commence jury selection and trial without any delay. As a result of discussion with lead counsel Mark Agnifilo, this motion for withdrawal of counsel is filed. While I am aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted, there are sufficient reasons related to protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case. Although I have provided Sean Combs with the high level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs," end quote. Now, essentially in legalese, I quit, but I can't go into details because of attorney-client privilege. According to the filing, though, the defense shakeup won't delay the case. Diddy will continue with 5 attorneys. That's Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garagos, Alexandra Shapiro, Jason A. Driscoll, and Anna Esteval. Now, a judge still has to sign off on the motion, but with the government taking no position on it and the fact Anthony Rico spoke with Mark Agnifilo about it before filing the motion, a judge will likely sign off on it.
Federal prosecutors have added 2 new victims to Diddy's case in a superseding indictment. While the identities of these individuals haven't been revealed, court documents suggest that one of them could be Diddy's former executive assistant, Philip Hines.
Basically means that the previous charges have been updated and the government have added new details to the case. They've expanded either the charges against someone, which isn't what's happened here, or they have added new detail about the alleged crimes, which is what is happening in this particular case.
So what's new, what's different in this superseding indictment?
There are no new charges against Diddy. Like you said, he's still accused of sex trafficking, of racketeering and transportation for the purposes of prosecution. But what the prosecutors have done is expanded the case with more details. They've added 2 new female victims, and they've also said that the alleged crimes took place over a longer time frame than they'd initially said. It now runs from 2004 to 2024, whereas before it had just been a 16-year time span.
And you mentioned there about adding new victims. That's victim 2 and victim 3 referred to in this indictment, but we already had a victim. We had victim 1. They're still in it?
Yes, that's right. So victim 1 is the case that they built the federal prosecution on.
And they say about these 3 victims, Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power of the Combs global enterprise to intimidate, threaten and lure female victims into Combs's orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force and coercion to cause victims, including but not limited to 3 female victims, 1, 2 and 3, to engage in commercial sex acts. In connection with the commercial sex acts, Combs provided the victims with, among other things, monetary payments, career opportunities and payments of rent and housing expenses.
Philip Hines worked as Diddy's executive assistant for nearly 5 years. He is now suing Diddy, claiming that he was forced to organize secret sex parties known as Wild King Nights. During one of these parties, Diddy allegedly pressured Philip to engage in sex with one of the models to prove his loyalty.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Hines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Hines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you'd have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
So what do you think? Is Meek Mill really innocent, or is he just trying to save face? And who do you think leaked that viral footage? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because trust me, this story is far from over and there's plenty more to come.